Hey guys, and welcome to this video. So in this video, I'm gonna answer a few questions I got on Instagram. Now, if you have some questions for me, make sure to follow me on Instagram because I do always give away money for the best question, okay? So make sure to follow me on Instagram. The Instagram handles will be down below. Now, this video is gonna be uncut. So if I make like speak errors, if you say it like that, don't blame me. My first language isn't actually English, but I'm getting better and better at it, which makes me really happy. But yeah, so firstly, first question, how do you balance business and personal life and still manage to make money? So back in the days, I was literally working, like literally almost 24/7. These days, I'm still working a lot, but it's because I love it. I love working. I don't know what else I would do, but the cool thing with YouTube is that if you want to make, let's say, $10,000 a month with YouTube, you don't have to work 8 hours a day, right? You can literally do that with 1 to 2 hours a day of work, right? That's the awesome part of YouTube. But it also, like here now again, it depends what your goal is. So I really want to hit $100,000 a month with YouTube. And with that, I can't just like work 1 to 2 hours a day, right? But I think I can kind of balance it quite well these days. Like I do take days off. We go for walks, for example, with the dogs. We go to the gym. Sometimes we watch movies, although I don't like it so much, but I force myself to do it just to take some off time, right? So next up, what is the most important lesson you learned in life so far? So the most important thing I learned, right, and which I could just recommend you guys to do as well, is like just take action. No matter what happens, like just buy that course for $500. Just buy that mentorship for $3,000, right? The money is going to come back no matter what, right? You should use money more as a tool than as a, I don't know what to say, but you should use it more as a tool to learn stuff, right? With that knowledge, you can always make money. Obviously, like there are maybe going to be some bad courses in between or bad mentorships in between, but it's part of it. Like from every single mentorship or course you take, you literally learn a little bit, right? So use money as a tool instead of, I don't know for what you want to use it, but just use money as a tool. It's way more valuable than just spending money on clothes, on a car or something like that. So use money as a tool and invest into yourself, invest into knowledge. That is also really important. I think like over the last 2 years, I invested like over $150,000 into my knowledge. So yeah, invested a lot of money into my knowledge. That's another thing. What is the highest amount you made from YouTube in a single month? So actually, the highest I've ever made was over 60,000, like around 90,000, right, in a month, which is quite cool. But yeah, $90,000 was the highest I made with YouTube in a single month. Now, I really want to get to that 100,000, so I'm not very happy with that yet. Need to get to 100,000. But yeah, next question. If you had to start your business from scratch today, what are the things you would do differently? To be honest, this is a good question, but I don't know if I would do too much differently. So for the people who don't know, I started like at 12 years old with my personal brand YouTube channel. So that was that was actually 10 years ago, right? That's where I started posting YouTube videos. I started posting because I saw all of these people making thousands of dollars with YouTube and I wanted that too, right? So I started my personal brand at 18 years old. I had 100,000 subscribers on my personal brand. I was making good money, but then like somehow I didn't like it anymore. And the reason why I didn't like it anymore was because I didn't like filming any videos anymore. And the other thing with the personal brand is once you become like, there will be a point where you become irrelevant, right? And then you don't make any money from YouTube anymore. Now with faceless channels, you can always just start a new one. You can find a new topic that has more demand, make money again, you know? So that's why I actually switched. But to be honest, I would literally do everything exactly the same way. Maybe I would start faceless channels a bit earlier, right? But I think it was like literally the perfect timing. Like I learned so much about YouTube throughout those years and then transitioned into faceless YouTube channels. So that was definitely very cool. But otherwise, I don't think like there's much I would do very differently. Like I think it's all part of the journey. And yeah, So what habits or daily routines do you believe have contributed a lot to your success? So what I do every single day, I write everything down. So I have a to-do list every single day, right? As you guys see here, have a to-do list every single day. Just helps me to know what I'm gonna do the next day, right? Because I had it a lot that I kind of knew what I wanted to do the night before, but then the day came and I didn't know what I needed to do anymore. So that's why I always write a to-do list for me. So I just know exactly, hey, what do I do? What do I need to do? Where do I need to take action? And I think that's one of the biggest things that has actually helped me to move forward. Because if I look at the first books I had, right? If I look at the first few books I had, it's so funny to see where I was at then and where I'm at now, right? Yeah, I think like one of the best things you can do is like literally write your to-do list. It sounds funny and it sounds like everyone is saying it, but it's really, really helpful, especially if you do a lot of things at once, if you have to manage a lot of things in one day, for example, right? Just makes it very easy to have like a clear overview. And yeah, so how do you feel when you create a new YouTube channel and it doesn't get views? So that's all part of it, right? So what we always do is we test different niches, right? Now, let's say, for example, we test 5 different niches. No, let me take a real life example. So in July, we tested 4 different niches. One of them failed, completely failed, didn't get any views, but 3 of them worked out, right? Now, the awesome part with YouTube is you can literally test 10 different channels, right? If one takes off, this specific one pays for all of the others, right? So I don't really care that much anymore if a channel fails or something happens. Like, I just don't worry about that too much anymore. Just keep on testing, and it's all part of the journey. Like, sometimes you choose a niche which looks very shiny from the outside, and once you actually start posting in it, you're still like, hey, okay, maybe this isn't the best niche, and then you obviously just continue look for new niche, right? It is always important to always be on that niche research and always try to find new niches. Very important. Has money made you happier, and did it solve all of your problems? So I wouldn't really specifically say it made me happier. So last year was actually the year where I started making a lot of money. And that's the time where I thought like, hey, okay, money makes happy, blah, blah, blah. But money does make life a bit easier, right? So for example, if my car breaks, I can literally just go and pay it, right? I don't need to worry about it. I can live in a very, very nice house. Just as an example, like, yeah, I can live. Let me actually know. Do you guys want a house tour? Like, I live in a pretty nice house, so I can do that. Yeah, so money buys a lot of cool things, right? But I wouldn't specifically say like money solves all my problems, right? So sometimes you still have these problems in your head. Just as an example, it doesn't solve all problems, but it can be very cool to have a lot of money. For example, if you have health issues, right? Or if your parents have health issues, you can literally just go ahead and help your parents out and take them to the best hospital out there, right? You don't need to take them to the state hospital. You can just take them to the best hospital out there if you have the money, right? So money is definitely cool to have, but it's not the most important thing, but it is one of the most important things out there, right? Because everything you have around you, right? Everything you need, everything does cost money. Water costs money, food costs money, health costs money, right? If you're sick, you need to pay for going to the hospital, right? Just as an example. Yeah. Now, what specific steps or mindsets helped you to stay motivated and consistent in early days when your YouTube channel wasn't successful? So I don't really count too much on like motivation. It's more of like discipline type of thing. I like that more than just motivation, because motivation goes up and down, up and down, up and down. But discipline stays consistent and goes up gradually, right? Now, I see many people like, for example, here going to the gym like for a week and then they stop, right? You're never going to get anywhere by going to the gym for 3 days, right? You need to stay very, very consistent for years to see results, right? You need to stay very, very consistent and disciplined. So that's like, I mainly, like, if I do something, I always try to do it like, here, for example, I have my daily habits, right? For example, I visualize every day for 10 minutes. Now, obviously, it wasn't easy for me to just visualize every day for 10 minutes, but you get used to it, right? And once you're used to that, you can add another habit, right? So that's basically what I do and what I did. I just made it to a habit, and I just continued doing the same thing over and over and over and over again until I got some results, right? So the most important thing is literally discipline and being consistent with whatever you do, okay? So let me look. Was there a point in your life that you usually procrastinate, and how do you overcome it? So it's even nowadays, I do procrastinate a lot, and the biggest problem is this. So the biggest problem is your phone, or not having clarity like where to start. I usually, and that's actually a big problem with me, but I usually, like if let's say for example, I buy myself a new mentorship program, right? I would literally not rush through it, but sometimes I like want to start with step 7, and then I'm just completely confused, and I don't know what to do, right? And then I actually usually just go for a walk, or I sit down, I think like, hey, what do I actually need to do? And then I very fast realize like, hey, start at step 1. And then I stop procrastinating and just go for it. Here, for example, this thing, very big problem with not doing the work you need to do, okay? So always be very careful with your phones, trust me. So what makes your program better than the rest? So the YTA University, it's basically our coaching program where we help normal everyday people to build a successful faceless YouTube channel, right? So my program, I'm 100% confident like in it, that it is literally the best program out there, right? We have over 200 lessons inside there explaining exactly how to build up your first faceless YouTube channel, right? Then we have here weekly coaching calls. We have the Facebook group, like the Facebook mastermind group. We literally, like it's just insane. Let me actually maybe open it for you guys so then you can see it. Let me open it while I'm answering some other questions. So if you lost everything that you have at the moment, how would you rebuild it? How would you rebuild it? So I would literally right away start a YouTube channel, right? Even if I had no money, I would literally sit and I would download some applications like illegally, right? Paid applications, or I would even just use CapCut, right? And just get started. Like I would just create faceless videos, as many as I just can. And yeah, blow up new faceless YouTube channels, make money with that, and then slowly begin to outsource the work to freelancers, and then just create more channels. And that's literally the beauty of it. You can literally post on YouTube for free and make money for free. Like you can literally, with YouTube, you can make money out of thin air. You literally just need to create videos. That's all you have to do. Yeah, and that's why I love YouTube so much, and literally everyone can do it. Yeah, so let me actually show you guys how this looks like. Whoops, okay, so this is basically the YTA University, right? 209 video lessons. Now if we scroll down here, you guys can see it is massive, right? I can continue scrolling for a while, but it is massive, right? Like literally everything you need to know about YouTube is covered in here. Like everything. Mistakes to avoid, for example, frequently asked questions. Like I skipped all of the above stuff. So here bonuses, a list of 1,000 niches. Here we even have personal branding inside. So there's literally everything you need to know is in the YTA University. Yeah, everything you need to know is in there. So yeah. Next question. What is the single biggest thing you had to give up in life to succeed and live free? That's a good question. So actually I didn't have to kind of give up a lot of things. But where I saw the biggest switch coming in my success was when we moved away, right, from my hometown, and I got a bit uncomfortable. I put myself into an uncomfortable position, and that's basically where I saw the like massive growth. in business, personal, like literally everything. Now, something I kind of not gave up, it's not a good habit to have, but we were partying a lot. And I'm kind of out of that completely. So I didn't really have to give that up, but yeah. And otherwise, I just had to sacrifice a lot of time, right? So when friends, for example, went for dinner, I couldn't go with. When friends went for a beer, I, in most times, like just stayed at home and worked, but also not always, right? So you need to make sure that, because I see a lot of people that do this, like, hey, you need to goes for 6 months straight and don't reply to anyone and stuff like that. That's bullshit, right? You need social contact. For most people, it's the case, right? So yeah, that's bullshit. Don't do that. But yeah, let me see. Okay, what are the key factors you consider when selecting a niche for a brand new YouTube channel? So what we usually look at, so we look at the supply and demand factor. How much supply is there already? How many channels are already posting videos in that niche? And how many people actually want to view that content, right? If you can find an imbalance between these two, right, or if they're off balance, that's a really good sign. And usually you can see it when very small channels get way more views than they have subscribers. And that's then typically a very good niche. Now, obviously, it's not that easy to find them, right? But it is possible. And if you find them, you make a lot of money very, very quickly. We, for example, took one channel from zero to over $60,000 in literally 30 days, right? So yeah, once you find niches like that and you have like really a good one, then you can make a lot of money very, 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 very fast. Yeah, and this actually brings me to the end of this video. Now, if you guys want to see exactly how I took a channel from zero to $60,000 in one single month, then click the video that is on the screen here now, and we will see each other on the other side. Thank you for watching this video. Yeah, we'll see each other. Click the video on the screen now, and we'll see each other in the next video.